Hello MMO world, video number 4, PvP and MMOs. So, PvP, we love it, we hate it if it's done poorly, that is. So why do we want PvP in our MMOs? PvP provides a direct competition, a direct opposing force. PvP provides an unscripted challenge that you just don't get from PvE. While PvE can certainly be challenging, it's something that can be memorized. Even though there's a certain level of randomization that can be thrown in, it can still be memorized to a large extent. So, PvE can provide an indirect competition, you know? You are maybe racing against another guild and you're trying to see who can get the raid done first, but your actions do not directly impact the other players. So it's kind of like a cheap form of competition. So, while we love PvP, it certainly does have its drawbacks. MMOs that focus 100% on PvP usually run out of content quite quickly, due to the reliance on other players participating. I have personally played MMOs where we go like hunting for PvP for a couple of hours and find nothing. So you're sitting there and you're like, well, now what? The game's only PvP, we found none, what do? Log out? No. There should be something else you could fall back on. So it could be quite boring if there's nothing else there, you know? So maybe you're out in the open world and you're doing an open world dungeon, you're an open world raid boss, and you're hitting that up while you wait for PvP to kind of sprout up. Maybe you're waiting for like prime time, a lot of people log on or something like that. Or you hear an alarm in faction chat. Large group of insert enemy faction name, you know, near Zone B. A bunch of alliance near I don't know, Orgrimmar, whatever it may be, whatever game you're playing. It brings a feeling of camaraderie, a feeling of brotherhood to your faction and guild when you stand against the enemy faction. If you take the other side and only have an MMO with PvE, you lose a big driving force for a lot of players. I personally lose a certain amount of drive when my MMO lacks PvP. Like, why bust your ass and strive to be the best you can be when the only thing that's waiting for you when you log in is a scripted boss, you know? It just dulls the experience. And to clarify, World of Warcraft does not have PvP. Now you're probably saying, well, yeah, it does, Nekrage. What are you, an idiot? Okay, I get you. Well, hear me out. When is the last time you played WoW and really had awesome PvP? Defending your city, or stopping an alliance raid from downing a world boss, or destroying one of their ships in the open sea? Oh yeah, right. WoW doesn't have that. No naval in WoW. No naval combat. So, the PvP in WoW, it's chosen PvP. Chosen PvP? What do I mean by that? You choose whether or not that PvP happens. 99% of WoW's PvP are battlegrounds and arenas. You don't want a PvP? Don't queue up. Rarely is there ever any world PvP. And when it does happen, it's pointless. Where's the unexpected PvP? Where's the world PvP that has a purpose behind it? World PvP that changes who owns the zone. Yeah, stealing stuff, stealing their trade packs, whatever the heck they may have, you know? So where's that? Where's meaningful PvP? So we want an MMO that has both PvE and PvP, the best of both worlds. We have PvE to gear up, and when PvP is maybe lacking, you use that gear to perform better in PvP, you know? So you PvE when there's no PvP, get some gear, perform better in PvP when it does happen. So there's something to do, something to earn while waiting for that PvP to happen. So you guys probably know me from Arcage, and let's be honest here. Arcage's PvP sucked to a certain extent. Now, I had fun. I had fun destroying people's ships, stealing trade packs, all that. So, when the PvP happened, it was enjoyable. It was fun. But the system greatly limited PvPers. You know, like, this zone is now in peace for 2 hours. You can't kill anyone. Sorry, but that enemy faction that's turning in trade packs, you gotta sit there and let them happen. Let them turn it all in. Nothing you can do. Your own faction's killing you? You better flag up and kill that healer over there. Oh wait, now you have crime points and off to jail. That's not fun. This is not fun. This is not what a PvP game should be like. Either it's all, or it's nothing. Give people PvP freedom. You want to have a faction that stands together against another? Fine. But don't half-ass the system. You allow friendly faction killing, then punish those who participate. Just eliminate it altogether and let the faction stand as one. They can't kill each other, they stand together, it promotes a faction bond. If you want to allow friendly faction PvP in your game, remove the factions altogether, and allow players the option to create their own faction. It's them against the world, if that's what they want to do. Give them that freedom. Maybe if you want to create a game like that, and you're saying, we don't really want factions, go ahead. If you do want factions in your game, let them remain as factions. Let them stand together. So to end this video, I wanted to discuss PvP with open world raid bosses. If you have both PvP and PvE gear in your game, and you have open world raid bosses, you have yourself a recipe for disaster. I feel that an MMO should never differentiate between PvP and PvE gear. And here's why. You throw on your PvE gear and you pull a world raid boss. Players attack you. So now, not only do you have a boss on you, you're wearing your PvE gear, the enemy's wearing the PvP gear. So now you have two major disadvantages. You're fighting a boss, and you have the wrong gear on for the encounter. This gives an immense advantage to those just seeking to gank. You could argue that this is a valid playstyle, and I'd certainly agree. However, for the sake of balance in your MMO, you know balance, right? That one thing that can utterly destroy your game if ignored? Warhammer Online, anyone? So balance. For the sake of that, let's just remove PvP gear. Let's just have gear. You can obtain your gear from PvP or PvE. Or the more likely choice, both. Get it from both PvP and PvE. Give players the freedom to choose how they obtain their gear, and let them use it how they see fit. And if your game has no instance content, they are forced into a possible PvP encounter anyway while they're out there questing for PvE gear, whether that be in a PvP capable dungeon or an open world raid boss. Anyway, that's the end of this video, guys. Let me know what you think about this. PvP discussion in the comments, maybe. What game you like the best, what game you prefer to PvP in, and what game you think utterly destroyed PvP. Let me know. And like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I will keep these videos coming. Thanks for watching.